hour by 2023. The Show Me Institute is releasing a paper today on the potential effects of minimum wage and what they'll have on Missouri. Dr. David Macpherson is a professor of economics at Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas. Good morning, Dr. Macpherson. Welcome to KTRS here in St. Louis.
Well, thank you. Good morning.
So let's talk about this. Why would raising the minimum wage be bad?
One obvious reason is some people are going to lose their job. Bill Even and I in our study estimate that about 11,000 workers are going to lose their job as a result of the minimum wage hike.
How would they lose their job? Explain that.
Well, the cost to employers goes up, and so as a result, they want to use less workers. They might substitute towards more machines instead of people. All prices are likely to rise some, and as a result, fewer people want to buy products made by minimum wage workers.
Isn't that happening now, though? Aren't humans being replaced by robots, no matter what the minimum wage is?
There is some of that trend for less skilled jobs that can be automated, absolutely, but this is going to make it a faster switch towards automation.
Yeah. Is that the only problem with raising the minimum wage? Anything else?
Another thing is it's poorly targeted towards low-income families. Just because you're a low-wage worker doesn't mean that you come from a low-income family. In fact, less than 1 in 5 workers in Missouri who would be affected by this minimum wage increase are, in fact, from families in poverty. A lot of the benefits go to higher income families, not low income families, because a lot of the workers are, in fact, often young people. In fact, we find 4 out of 10 are teenagers living with their parents.
Yeah.
So it's not a well-targeted policy. A lot better policy would be the earned income tax credit, which gives money to low-income working families.
Explain that, because that's a lot of buzzwords and people don't quite understand how that works. Explain the earned income tax credit.
Well, what it does is it rewards the working poor who are part of a family with more money. What they do is say you get $1 in benefit, $1 of wages. The government will give, say, 60 cents in terms of additional money to you. So instead, for every $1 hour you're earning $1.60 per hour, and of course it'd be something like a higher wage than $1, obviously. But you'd get that back in terms of a tax credit. So instead of paying income taxes, you would get money back from the government. They'd pay you, and it goes up to a cap of family income, and then it starts to get phased out. But it's targeted at only those families that, in fact, are low-income families.
Yeah, Doctor, how come salaries and minimum wage or hourly wages aren't rising anyway? We don't have enough workers currently. Every business I talk to, whether they're looking for unskilled workers, hourly workers, they can't find qualified people. So why isn't that number going up to sort of entice people to these jobs?
Well, it will, in fact, start to go up. As firms start to compete more and more for workers, wages will rise by themselves naturally through the forces of supply and demand. It's hard to override supply and demand in the marketplace.
Yeah, but
it can take some time, but it will happen.
Yeah. I often say that to employees or employers. Hey, why don't you just charge more? And they say, well, we're not going to, we don't want to pay somebody more if they're not going to show up. So it's sort of a yin and a yang. Let me ask you this question, and back to the jobs and the robots and the computers. You see it in grocery stores, you see it in supermarkets, you see it in fast food chains, the kiosks there where you order your own, right? You go to a movie theater, now you buy your movie ticket from a kiosk. Jobs like those are going away anyway. So would really an extra $1 or $2 an hour speed up that process?
Exactly, it will. Because as you raise the cost of labor, they're going to move it that much faster towards automation. it creates that much more incentive to automate the jobs. So I definitely think it would go faster.
Yeah. Your paper is posted with the Show Me Institute, showmeinstitute.org. Dr. David Macpherson is a professor of economics, the economics chair at Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas. Doctor, thanks for your time. Have a good day.